Have you ever noticed that no matter how oversaturated social media gets, you always see the same people going viral, the same thought leaders, the same entrepreneurs, the same CEOs? Let's call these people the masters. Now, although all of these masters have different levels of education and different levels of expertise, deep down they all understand that mastering communication isn't about reciting a bunch of fancy words or trying to not to stutter over your speech. They all understand that to become a master in communication, you have to.
Welcome to the Queen Path. This kingdom class serves as a royal remembrance to embody the woman God has called you to be.
Hello, kings and queens. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sola. I'm the founder of the brand The Queen Path, and I'm super passionate about helping people reach their highest potential with the highest power. And for today's video, I'm going to be walking you through your next 3 moves to become a master in communication in a world full of amateurs. If you're someone who sees yourself, being on those top-rated podcasts, you want to speak on panels, you see yourself speaking on stages, sharing your wisdom, your message, or your story with the world, then this video is definitely going to be for you. Now, I've always understood the power of communication. By the time I was 19 years old, I was on the cover of newspapers, featured in magazines. I would speak in front of hundreds of people. I would see people come up to me in tears based on certain things that I scribbled in my diary because I understood the ability and the skill set of spoken word. Fast forward to where I'm at now as a business owner and entrepreneur, I still use the exact same skill set. And it's the skill set that I'm going to teach you how to master in today's video. Now, maybe you've been programmed to believe that mastering communication is like a mathematical equation. If you say this, you get this response. If you speak in this way, then that's how you move an audience. And we are stepping into the time period of authenticity, meaning it is not just a matter of reciting a speech. It's not just a matter of reciting a bunch of words. In fact, you can even really see this reflected in our current political hemisphere with one of the biggest critiques that Kamala Harris gets, which is that she always sounds like she's reading from a script. And it's because we are living in the age of authenticity. The tactic of just memorizing a bunch of words and reciting that to an audience does not show that you actually understand how to master communication. Mastering communication is not a mathematical equation or a scientific formula. It's more of an art form. In fact, it is the art of articulating your thoughts, ideas, and solutions. So bringing this back to politics, the reason why Kamala Harris feels really inauthentic to a lot of people is because her ideas and her thoughts and her solutions don't really feel like they're coming from her. And when you really become a master in communication, it's about learning how to master articulating your own thoughts, your own ideas, and your own solutions. And so the first thing you have to do in order for you to become a master in communication, declutter your mind. Mastering communication is not just about speech. In fact, I think it's 80% about thinking and 20% about speech. Now, communication works like this. You have ideas in your head, ideas, solutions, and thoughts. It goes into your heart and then it flows out of your mouth. In fact, the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? And that's how words actually are moved. Words are really just a transference of ideas. And the reason why so many people have not become masters in the world of communication is because their mind is filled with so many of their own problems. People spend all day meditating on their own problems, what they're going through. Their minds are really disorganized. They have too many tabs open in their life, too many tabs open on their computer. There's too much mental activity. So when they communicate, it's not coming out in a concise manner. They're not really clearly articulating their ideas because it's filled with a lot of problems. So the common theme that I've noticed with people who do long form content and people are just hooked on every word that they're saying, the common theme that I've noticed with people who have an eager audience waiting to listen to every single episode of podcast they put out or every video on YouTube they put out is that they have really mastered a certain art of thinking. In fact, I would say a lot of these people spend a lot of time really thinking about their ideas. They think about their thoughts, right? And I think that's actually the art of thinking. It's the next level of thinking. It's like one level is just to be in this automatic response where you're just like in this state where life is happening and you're just reacting constantly. And then there's people who literally spend time thinking about like, I wonder why this is like this, or I wonder why this is like this, or maybe this could be like this. Like these people are naturally a lot more curious and they're a lot more solution oriented. When you're meditating on your problems all day and night, you don't have the capacity or the space to really begin cleaning up your mind so you can be receiving solutions from the divine and communicating those solutions into the world. In fact, the common theme I also notice with a lot of people who go viral, a lot of people who have incredible clips going viral on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, is that these people are solutionaries. They bring solutions to the world. But when you're spending all day and meditating on your problems, you're going to have a very low hard drive, mental hard drive. You're not going to have the space or the capacity to even like think about your own solutions. That's the gift about being a really, really great communicator. You put yourself in alignment with receiving solutions for someone else's assignment. That is my spoken word poetry background coming out. I can't make this video right now. I can't make this video right now because it's like, it's not in my heart yet. It's not in my heart. It's hard to speak when the words are only in your head, but they haven't quite moved into your heart. I need to come back and do this part. If I want this video to be really authentic, I have to record this part when the words are in my heart because right now they're in my head and I want to show people that step 2 is all about finding your love story. And if it's not in my heart, if I'm not flowing from a place of love, I'm not going to be able to flow on the subject easily. I'm going to focus on like trying to memorize the script and the words that I have to say. And I'm not going to be able to give people a good, authentic transference of energy. Like, I want to give people a good transference of energy. I don't want to just like regurgitate words to them. So, in order for me to really communicate this effectively, like the words have to be in my heart. They can't just be in my head because that's what makes you an incredible communicator. That is step number 2. Step number 2 is that you got to bring the words into your heart. You got to bring the words into your heart. You got to make sure that you're flowing from that place of love. I call this your abundance center. In fact, the Bible talks about this in Luke 6:45. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You can't flow on a subject for like 3 to 4 hours. I'm telling you, the love is not really there on that subject. Meaning, when you speak, it's not going to really hit people in their souls because speaking and communication is not just about a transference of words, it's a transference of energy. You are literally taking the energy that is living inside of you and you are communicating that through the power of words. Does it make sense? And so even when we hear things, what we're really hearing is vibration, and then our brain is what translates the vibrations into actual words. And so if your heart is not in it when you are speaking, you are going to be a powerless speaker. You're not going to be a masterful speaker. And so some people can get really, really passionate about the things that they memorized, right? But if it's not really their own ideas, their own solutions, right? It's not going to come from like a really authentic love place. It might come from like a passion, heady passion place. But if you want the words to really hit people, touch people, get them to take action, get them to get off Instagram and go take action and do something, maybe go to your website, maybe go to listen to your podcast episode, maybe go and do something, you have to transfer the energy. This is something that I wish I understood when I was 23 years old. I was a struggling artist at that time. I stopped doing poetry and I couldn't seem to figure out how do I take this gift that I learned when I was a spoken word poet and make me like a successful business owner, make me a successful entrepreneur. I couldn't figure out the gap. I was showing up online and I was just like, trying to just recite things to the world. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is my offer. This is what I'm selling versus understanding that it wasn't about the words of what I was saying. I had to make sure that I was transferring my energy right. And if I was depressed and meditating on my own problems in scarcity mode, then when I would get up and speak online, it's not going to really hit people's hearts because I'm not operating from love. I'm operating from lack. And when you're operating from lack, people can feel that. When you're operating from love, you're operating from abundance. And so when you're flowing from that place, you can speak on it for 4 hours, 5 hours. You can talk about that subject all day, every day. And so you want to make sure that you find that love story. Number 2, find that love story. What is that thing that you know that you can flow on for hours because you're coming from a place of abundance, you're coming from a place of love, you're coming from a place of source, you're coming from a place of God. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And we live in a world where so many people are so caught up in these false identities. And so they try to go online and share wisdom and information with the world. And what they're saying is not going to feel prolific because it's not really coming from an authentic place. It's not really coming from a source that they can flow on nonstop. And so that brings us to point number three. You want to keep yourself immersed in student mode. You want to never stop learning, never stop reading books, never stop surrounding yourself with other masters where you can constantly be in a state where you're bringing in new insight, new information. I notice with a lot of incredible, masterful speakers that they're always referencing what books to read, referencing really good quotes to read. They keep themselves immersed in the presence of other masters. When you are reading new books, you're always opening up new pathways in your mind for new information, for new insight, for new thoughts for you to meditate on versus you meditating on your problems. And that's how the energy flows. You start with these ideas in your head, you declutter your mind, then it goes into your heart. You really align yourself with like your abundance center. What is that subject that I know that I can flow on? What is that area that I know I can flow on? Where is that place in me that when I'm speaking on the subject, it's just an outpour of love. And then you keep yourself immersed in learning. Stay reading books, listening to audiobooks. The more and more you implement these next three moves, you're going to see yourself mastering communication faster. And not only are you going to master communication, you're going to also just stand out in a world full of amateurs. You're going to stand out in a world where people are just like regurgitating everybody else's thoughts and everybody else's ideas. When you start to see people grabbing a bunch of microphones and the market get more and more oversaturated, the best of the best rise to the top. The people with new ideas, new perspectives, new solutions are the ones who are going to rise to the top. So if God is calling you to really master your communication skills, I have a program called Speak Like a Queen that starts on October 28th. Enrollment closes on October 27th. It is a 4-week intensive with 8 sessions where we're going to be really diving deep on getting clear on what your signature message is, how to monetize your message, to how to monetize your story, how to package your expertise into a high ticket offer, and how to claim yourself as a person of authority online. So if you're interested, go to the link in the description to learn more. Thank you so much for watching this video. Go out in the world and go be masters in the world full of amateurs and see how quickly not only you transform your own life, but how quickly you can transform other people's lives. I'll see you ladies or kings in the next video.